right side, Butler. 9:45 to go first quarter. 6-3 Miami. Butler around the Adebayo screen. One-legged jumper falls off the front rim and in for Butler, who's got 5. 8-3 Miami. 9.5 minutes to go in the first. LeBron James and the Lakers bring it across the timeline. Goes to KCP on the left. Gets down near the baseline and finds Anthony Davis in the high post. Spinning, fading, shot in, no good. Crowder can't hang on, off his hands and out across the baseline.
I do not think it's a bad thing that Jimmy Butler has gotten off to this start, because when your best player and your closer begins by making shots, everybody could take a little bit of a breath and say, all right, our guy's ready.
Jimmy Butler had missed his last 9 3-point attempts before hitting his first. Off the inbound, AD has it easy. A little 15-footer knocks it home.
All because they couldn't secure that defensive rebound. Jay Crowder had it and just lost it out of bounds.
8-5. Lakers within 3. 9:10 to go in the first. Bam Adebayo fakes the handoff, drives deep, and Dwight Howard, as he was trying to catch up with Adebayo, knocks it out of bounds.
I think he's got a foul call because he reached in there.
Good call. First on
Dwight, I believe, and that's going to be the problem, Kesty, for both Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Bam Adebayo's really quick. Oh, they got Anthony Davis, even more important. I was going to say AD's quick enough to cover Bam on his drives. For JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, yeah, they're big and they're going to dominate the glass and rim protect, but they're going to have their hands full guarding Bam Adebayo away from the basket.
So often they put him at the elbow. They go dribble handoff with their great shooters. The big has to cheat. Bam will fake the handoff and go to the rim, which is how he got that last move going, and he makes both free throws. So 10-5 Miami.
Bam Adebayo, much better free throw shooting in the postseason. Here's James, coast to coast, now peels off on the baseline, out to the wing, covered by Adebayo. Dribbling between the legs, left hand, right hand, step back 3 on its way, and it's good for James. LeBron picking up where he left off in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. What a closing quarter, delivering the Western Championship over Denver. 10-8 lead. Goran Dragic had it knocked away from behind. Danny Green down the other end. James floats it toward the rim. AD made the catch, poked it toward the rim. He got fouled, and he'll go to the line here with 8:3 to go in the first quarter. 10-8 Miami leading.
Well, it wasn't a turnover. It was a block shot, but the same result. Los Angeles running downhill. When they're pushing the ball and running, they are exceptional. Anthony Davis, I'm actually surprised he didn't finish that inside. It was a good look from LeBron, and I'm confused why they're inbounding the ball, not shooting.
Yeah, Jay Crowder got the foul. They'll send it in from the side. Into Dwight Howard, over to Danny Green on the left hash. 13 on the shot clock. Hits AD at the top. Got Crowder guarding. Gives it up to Caldwell Pope. Driving Dragic down to the baseline. A fade away from 20 is net. And the Lakers have tied it at 10.
Dragic did a tremendous job staying between him and the basket. Just a tremendously good shot by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
10-10 game. Jimmy Butler driving by Dwight Howard. Hits the cutting. Bam Adebayo down the lane for the lay-in.
Really good pass from behind the backboard. Little two-hand bounce pass. And Bam moving without the ball, which is a Miami trait.
Danny Green straight on 3. Around the rim, no good. Rebounded by Miami. Bam, a little collision. He is up late getting down floor for the Heat. Now he's getting set to set a screen. Screens off Danny Green. Dragic, the fake on the drive and the lay-in. Miami by 4.
Tell you what, Miami looks very comfortable. No nerves whatsoever.
14-10, as PJ pointed out, nobody's participated in the finals in this lineup. Here's KCP off the cut. Missed the shot. Basket interference by the Lakers. Wipe off the basket.
Anthony Davis a little bit anxious. He is following the dribble driver to the cup. KCP puts it up soft, but the timing just was too tough. I think that was going to go down without AD's assistance.
14-10, Miami leading by 4. 7:20 left in the first quarter of Game 1 of the 2020 NBA Finals on ESPN Radio. Bam Adebayo dribbles to the left, hands off to Goran Dragic. Now sets the screen for Dragic, who is picked up by Dwight Howard. Floats it up high in the air. Bam makes the catch out of the basket, recovers and slams it.
That's the speed. To me, that's the speed of Bam Adebayo, and Dwight not able to keep up, to your point, PJ.
No, he beat him, and then the rotation was very slow coming. That's why they got the follow-up.
6 for Bam, 6-point Miami lead. 6:50 left in the first quarter. James at the top against Adebayo. Lobs it underneath. Dwight Howard makes the catch, beating Butler.
Wow, they're going to give
offensive
it an
foul.
Wow, Kesty.
That's offensive foul number 2. Didn't that go on AD?
First one went on AD, and that one, I believe, should be on Dwight.
I guess 3 for 39, yeah.
6:45 to go here in the first quarter. Miami Heat out to a 16-10 lead on the Lakers. We'll step away from Disney. You're listening to the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
On to our Twitter account at NBA on ESPN Radio to vote in the AutoZone poll question. Who is going to get in the zone for Game 1 of the Finals? Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, or Goran Dragic? Get in the zone. Brought to you by AutoZone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, proven tough battery selection. That's what makes AutoZone your battery solution, where help is always in stock. Get in the zone. AutoZone. What a good start for the Miami Heat. No nerves whatsoever. 16-10. Bam Adebayo's got 6. Jimmy Butler's got 5. I'm sure the Heat will take that all night long. We send you back to Orlando with Doris Burke and PJ Carlissimo. Here's Mark Kestis.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. And PJ and Doris, I always am struck when Eric Spoelstra talks about his young team. He says, they don't know what they don't know. And clearly they're just out here playing basketball early at a high level.
Well, that's a great expression, and so far they look as relaxed as you could be on both ends. They're doing a good job defensively also. The Lakers have made some tough shots. I mean, LeBron makes a 3, kind of leaning back. KCP made a tough one on the baseline. Anthony Davis is being well defended. He's just too big for Jay Crowder.
I know it's early, but the Lakers only 2 paint points. Kesty, you know how dominant they are in the restricted area.
6 straight for Miami, a 6-point lead. He'd have it out of the timeout. Jimmy Butler driving, high off the window, beats Dwight Howard and in. 8 consecutive Miami points, an 18-10 lead at the 6:25 mark to go in the first quarter. James bringing it up to our left, leaves it for Anthony Davis up high, right back to LeBron, dribbling across the arc to the left. He's defended by Adebayo. Oh, miscommunication. He passed to the right. AD had cut toward the baseline, out of bounds to Miami. 6:10 and counting to go here in our opening quarter of Game 1. The NBA Finals with Goran Dragic between the circles. Will drive down the post to the baseline right. Hands it off to Butler for a short baseline Jimmy that he puts through.
So Jimmy just sneaks behind the defense along the baseline, gets to a little mid-range area, and an easy opportunity.
10-point lead for the Heat at 20-10. Lakers ensuing pass is another turnover. Danny Green trying to find Dwight Howard in traffic. Dragic the steal, drives in a wild pass to Butler, saves it with one hand up top to Crowder. His three is up and in. Jay Crowder couldn't buy a three for the last couple of weeks, and he's hit his first two.
4 for his last 30 coming in. He knocks down 2. Turnovers early, a problem for the Lakers.
13 consecutive Miami points and a quick timeout called by Frank Vogel. 5:36 to go first quarter. The Heat lead the Lakers 23-10. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Zubin tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and ESPN News. It was 1 year ago to the day when Eric Spoelstra and the Heat had their media day.
We're not the same as when we started training camp a year ago. We've gotten better. Guys have grown into bigger roles. And then this whole life experience of going through this bubble has really been extraordinary. And I think we've gotten better, from these 80-plus days of just being around and experiencing just something that is so unique to all of us.
Spo, I don't think you got better. I know you got better. In Miami, in the midst of a big run, they lead by 13. Kesty, back to you in Orlando.
All right, Kev, with P.J. Carlosimo and Doris Burke here at Disney. P.J., Jimmy Butler, aggressive mode early, 4 for 4, 9 points.
He usually doesn't have 4 field goal attempts. Doris made a great point early. Him being aggressive early shows the way for his young teammates.
He only takes 13.2 field goal attempts for this team. It's Dragic who actually leads him in field goal attempts. Peach, we were talking about the turnovers at the break. You mentioned it to Frank Vogel yesterday. They've got 4 already. Miami has capitalized off those.
And they're careless turnovers. They're not turnovers caused by Miami's aggressive defense. They're just careless.
LeBron James on the bench to start this Lakers series out of the timeout. Rondo skips it across. Kuzma's just on the floor. Kyle Kuzma works it around the perimeter back to Rondo. Trying to find AD in the mid-post. Instead puts it on the deck against Duncan Robinson. One-legged jumper, good from the elbow.
That ends a 13-0 run, Kesty.
23-12. Miami Heat still leading with the ball as we come up on 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Andre Iguodala playing in his 6th straight finals on the floor. Gives it to Robinson. Back to Andre. Up in the air. Lost it. Jimmy Butler underneath has it. Can't get a shot off. AD comes away with it. On the other end, it's Rondo. Into the lane. Finds Kuzma on the right. Kyle one dribble. Back to Rondo in the deep right corner. Guarded by Crowder. Rondo will shoot the three. It's no good. Tyler Hero just into the game has the rebound. Hero, the rookie from Kentucky, has lit up the postseason. Duncan Robinson up top has it. Now to Iguodala on the arc. They'll work it to Butler. Ball fake on AD. Drives him under the basket. Hits the cutting Crowder, who dribbles out to the far wing. Turns. Shoots a three. It's a miss. But going up and grabbing it and flushing it is Iguodala.
I'll tell you, Andre Iguodala made an excellent pick-and-roll pass on the last possession. Jimmy Butler just lost the handle. They had a layup.
36 years of age. Iguodala making it a 13-point game as Kyle Kuzma's three misses. Long rebound. Lakers end up with it. Rajon Rondo will shovel it to AD at the free throw line. Back to Rondo. Dribbling on the arc, goes left side to KCP. Now they find it to AD against Butler in the mid-post. Looking to pass. Finds Kuzma on top. Fakes the shot, drives, kicks to the wing. KCP for three. It's good. Lakers within 10.
All triggered by the double team of Anthony Davis. Quick pass out. Ball reversal opens up a weak side drive.
25-15 Miami. Hero, ball fake on the three. Drives, flips it high off the window. Falls off the front rim to Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma with a left hand, now right hand dribble into the front court. We'll send it right side to Rondo. They spread the floor, the Lakers. AD on the left right now, coming to set a screen for Rondo. Rondo into the corner. KCP for three. Back-to-back triples from the right corner.
And he's doing an excellent job on Duncan Robinson. He's chasing him over all the screens, not letting him get a look. Timeout for Eric Spoelstra. Kesty, you know, this started with Tyler Hero turned the ball over. KCP stripped him in the backcourt 2 possessions ago. That kind of got Miami back on its heels.
Making progress with LeBron James getting a rest. The waves of others, as Frank Vogel likes to talk to his role players about.
That's PJ and Doris' Instant Analysis, brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks, from discounts and benefits to added coverages. Call 1-800-FARMERS to learn more about policy perks from Farmers Insurance and get a quote today. 3:08 on the clock, first quarter. Miami leading the Lakers 25-18. Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio with Doris Burke, PJ Carlosimo. I'm Mark Kestisher. It was a 13-0 run by Miami. It's been answered now 8-2 in favor of the Lakers with LeBron on the bench.
And one key part of that, Kesty, is their threes have started to fall. Miami has yet to miss from the arc. The Lakers are now 4 for 8.
KCP looks really good. You know, it's funny. Frank Vogel always tells us he plays harder than anybody else on the floor, his opponents. I'm really impressed with what he's doing defensively, but not just the defense on Duncan Robinson. He got that steal in the backcourt against Tyler Hero. He made a circus shot on the left baseline, and now threes from the corner. Great start for KCP.
Great start, and on the other side, PJ, I can't help but notice the points in the paint that are lacking for the Lakers. Let's remember, north of 40 in the restricted area. They only have 2 as we march toward 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
It'll be Miami ball out of the timeout. 3:07 and rolling here in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler has the inbound. So drop it right side to Iguodala near the free throw line to Robinson. Jump pass to Iggy. He fires outside. It's Crowder for 3, and he knocks it home, his 3rd triple of the first quarter.
I'm just ripping up my stat sheet from the last series. We don't need it anymore.
10-point lead. AD gets through the double down the lane for the easy lay-in. 28-20. Miami's lead trimmed to 8. Crowder had a nightmare of an Eastern Conference Finals from 3 as Butler tries to feed the wing. Knocked out of bounds by Rondo. So much length on that Lakers defense.
There is, but I want to make a point about the Miami offense. A lot of the shots are coming because of the routes that Duncan Robinson is running. The split action up top, that's where you're getting some of those dives to the rim and the weak side corner pass.
Butler off the inbound. Duncan Robinson launching a 3 from outside. A miss. Anthony Davis rebounds. Lakers down 8, 2.5 left in the first with Rondo dribbling across the 3-point line. Slings it to KCP. Looks for contact. Got it on a 2-point shot in the corner that misses. Foul on Duncan Robinson, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope will shoot a pair.
Talking about Jimmy Butler being aggressive, KCP is super aggressive early. He's doing an excellent job. He just head faked that time, and Duncan Robinson bid on it. I'll tell you though, Doris, on the other end, the Lakers are struggling with pick-and-roll defense against Miami. Every time they've run a pick-and-roll, that roll man's been open going into the basket, and a couple times he kicked it out for those threes in the corner.
You have to guard the perimeter, and Duncan Robinson, when he's coming off that split action, you get the quick dive off the screen or the split, and the speed of Bam Adebayo is problematic, or the speed for that guy in the middle of the floor, and that weak side corner has gotten open shot after open shot.
KCP hit the first free throw. He's got 9 in between free throws. Bam Adebayo. Goran Dragic just checked back into the Miami lineup. KCP second, good as well. 10 in the first quarter for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who averaged 11 points a game in the conference finals. Lakers within 6. Bam has it, tip of the circle, looking to facilitate. Goes to Iguodala on the left, dribbles up the arc, now toward the mid-post, hangs off the glass shot, pinballs out, no good, comes up with the offensive rebound, feeds Hero for a 3 that misses, and the Lakers have it on the weak side. Down floor for KCP, missed the layup at the cup under a little bit of pressure.
Tyler Hero did a poor job getting back on defense. He watched his shot.
Dragic gets to the low box. Alex Caruso in the game cuts him off. Up top, Robinson, the deadly three-point shooter, misses, and the Lakers come away with it. Minute 45 to go, first quarter. Caruso stops, top of the circle, finds KCP for 3, bricks that one. AD, the offensive rebound, and fouled as he was looking to go back up. Bam Adebayo coming from behind gets called for the foul. That'll be number 1 on Bam as LeBron James, arms crossed, waits to re-enter the game in between free throws. 1:37 to go in the first quarter. 28-22, Miami leading the Lakers.
Bam Adebayo was complaining to Josh Tiven, and I think he's got a legit complaint. He had a lot of ball going at AD's stick back.
The problem is putting Anthony Davis at the free throw line means you're putting an 81% free throw shooter. And he is averaging literally almost 10 free throws a game in the playoffs, 9.8 to be exact.
Makes the first. LeBron is in. KCP with a 10-point first quarter heading to the bench.
Doris, how pleased is Frank Vogel with the minutes with LeBron on the bench?
He's got to be absolutely thrilled. That, as he said, that reserve group doesn't get a ton of attention because there's no sixth man of the year, but they all star in their roles.
Anthony Davis hits both free throws. He's got 9. Lakers now down 4. Bam Adebayo with it. Finds Dragic. Lefty jumper from the baseline. Missed everything. Kyle Kuzma has it. Lakers were down as many as 13. They're down 4. Kyle stops inside the arc. Gives it to LeBron with a minute 20 to go in the first. James against Adebayo. Bullies his way down deep. Tries to get in. Gets contact. Missed it. And will go to the free throw line.
Is that now 2 on Bam Adebayo in quick succession here?
It is 2 fouls on Adebayo here at the 1:16 mark to go in the first.
He absolutely cannot afford foul trouble. They need his speed on the defensive end. They need his presence as a passer on the offensive end. I mean, they'd almost be able to endure a Jimmy Butler or a Goran Dragic foul trouble, PJ, I think, than this guy.
No question.
First free throw for LeBron James is good. And it will be Eric Spoelstra going to Derrick Jones Jr. Bam will head to the bench for the final 76 seconds of the first at least.
It's probably going to be more than 76 seconds, and you got to watch what's happening on the boards because AD on that previous play just moved Andre Iguodala out of the way, and you have to think LeBron knew who he had on him, and he went right at Bam Adebayo.
Second free throw, good by James, and the Lakers have cut it to 2. 28-26. Miami still leads with a minute 10 to go here in the first quarter. Goran Dragic dribbling between the rings against Caruso, using the screen from Jones. Now feeds Jones the roller, never had it, turns it over. Caruso with it. Lakers come up floor down 2. Lob for AD. Hero got in the way. Ball knocked out of bounds by Miami.
Tyler Hero did a really good job because AD ran ahead. He was anchored underneath the rim. Tyler just jumped up. He was fronting him, and he got his hand on the ball. Knocked it out of bounds.
A 16-5 Laker run off the inbound to AD with 55 seconds to go in the quarter. Dribbles down the post in a double-team turn. Shot hangs on the rim, falls off. Derek Jones rebounds, but his outlet stolen by James. Lobs to the rim for Davis, makes the catch, puts it in, ties the game at 28.
Derek Jones looks like he's surprised he's in the game and he's not ready to play. That's 2 mistakes already.
An 18-5 Laker run after they fell behind by 13. Half a minute to go in the first. Hero takes the pass on the left, drives down the lane, dishes to the cutting Jones, through his hands again, turns it over to the Lakers. It was a hard baseline cut, couldn't come up with it. And LA has about 3 seconds difference on the shot clock in the first quarter clock, which now hits 15.
Defensive pressure went to another level in the second half of this first quarter for the Lakers.
James with 10, dribbling toward the three-point line. Feeds Rondo in the post, outside to AD. Corner, Caruso for 3, buries it. Lakers take the lead with 4 seconds to go in the first. Up ahead to Hero with 2. Hero a long 3 at the horn, misses. A 21-5 Lakers close to the quarter after Miami took the 13-point lead.
Well, they did it with defense. They only committed 1 foul. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, to me, look like they're a little nervous. The other Miami Heat players, with the exception of Derek Jones, are playing very well.
After 1 quarter in Game 1 of the 2020 NBA Finals, the Lakers 31 and the Heat 28. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Tale of 2 different quarters.
James with 10, dribbling toward the three-point line. Feeds Rondo in the post, outside to AD. Corner, Caruso for 3, buries it. Lakers take the lead with 4 seconds to go in the first.
On an 18-5 run after they were down as many as 13. And wouldn't you know it, 12 minutes are in the books. It's the Lakers 31-28 over the Miami Heat in Game 1 of the Finals. We start the second back at Orlando with Doris and PJ. Here's Mark Kestisher.
All right, Kev, thanks a lot. Yeah, that 21-5 run and the last 13 points all scored by the Lakers, wiping out, Doris, the 13-0 Miami run to grab that lead.
I thought their defensive intensity ratcheted up. The run started when LeBron James rested, but it continued when he got back on the floor. The foul trouble for Bam Adebayo is something to watch. I do not believe, to PJ's point, he's going to start the second quarter. He is on the bench, it looks like.
He is. Solomon Hill is in the game with Jimmy Butler, Hero, Dragic, and Iguodala for Miami.
Miami started 9 for 12. They're 2 for their last 12, Kesty.
And they trail by 3 as they get the first attack of the second. It's Dragic driving, lays it up right over LeBron James, off the glass and in. James in the game with Alex Caruso, Rajon Rondo, Kyle Kuzma, and Markieff Morris getting a look here early in the second. 31-30, Lakers lead by 1. Rondo to James, left foot on the three-point line, guarded by Butler. Ball on his left thigh. Now James dribbles to the mid-post, trying to back down. Passes to the corner. Kuzma gets a good look at a three and buries it. Lakers by 4.
Interestingly enough, with Bam on the bench, the Lakers have gone small also. None of their bigs on the floor.
6 3-pointers in the first half of the Lakers in their first 11 shots. Solomon Hill for 3, a miss from the right. Caruso has the Laker rebound. 1 minute elapsed here in this second quarter of game 1, a 34-30 Laker lead. Rajon Rondo to the top. Will pass it to James just right of the circle. He'll trigger from there. Rolls off. No good to Tyler Hero. Hero outlet Iguodala. Left wing front court. Now gives it back to Tyler. Drives across the baseline and lays it in.
They move so well without the ball, and they're such a good passing team.
34-32. Lakers lead trimmed to 2. Rondo from the right, guarded by Dragic. Stops the dribble. Gives it to Morris. 20-foot jumper. Markieff Morris a miss. Hill the Miami rebound. 10:20 left in the half as Jimmy Butler dribbles across the timeline for Miami. Cuts to the free throw line. Euros down the lane. Hangs and misses on the layup attempt. Markieff Morris up ahead to LeBron James. James with a head of steam. Bangs into Iguodala. They work it around to Rondo. He'll try a 3 and he'll make it from the left.
This guy is so much more confident from 3. Frank Vogel told him out of the gates, you've got the green light, and Rondo has delivered.
45% from 3 for Rondo in the postseason. Lakers have a 5-point lead, their biggest. Hero dribbles up, tries a 3 from the top, a miss. Kuzma, Laker rebound. Gives it to LeBron. 9:45 to go, first half. James back to the basket now, spins and gives it up to Alex Caruso. Using LeBron as a screener, got knocked down, lost the ball, no call. 2-on-1, Dragic lays it in for Miami. 37-34, the Lakers lead trimmed to 3.
Miami needed that bucket. They've looked shaky the last couple minutes.
Rajon Rondo wearing the white headband tonight, using a LeBron James screen. Now as he's fouled in the lane, tried to throw one near the rim, bounces off the backboard. Solomon Hill raises his hand for the foul.
He just did something that was so subtle, Rajon Rondo. He waited for LeBron to set the screen. A pick and roll is a 2-person action, and if you don't want your screener to get an offensive foul, wait for him to set it, and then wisely, once he feels the contact in the pick and roll, he gets himself a couple of free throws.
Rondo hits the first free throw, and here's our answer when Bam would come back in. The 9:19 mark to go in the second quarter. Adebayo on the floor. Andre Iguodala heads to the Miami bench. Bam with 2 fouls picked up in the first quarter, in which he scored 6 points, part of a 13-0 Miami run for their initial lead. Second free throw good as well from Rondo. 9:15 to go here in the first half. 39-34. Lakers lead the Heat with Dragic guarded by Rondo. He'll dribble using 2-man game. Now passes out to Hill. On top it goes to Hero with 8 to shoot. Tyler dribbling down to the baseline. Curls underneath the basket with 5. He finds an open shooter, and it's Butler knocking home a triple from the left corner. Baseline
drift. You had a driver and Hero baseline drift by Jimmy Butler. Nicely done. And boy, how about him out of the gates from
12
3.
points for Jimmy Butler.
He came in missing his last 9 threes. You wouldn't tell it from that.
Miami within 2. James passes out. On top, Rondo wide open for 3. Off the rim, no. Rebounded by Dragic. So Miami down 2 with 8.5 to go. Pass for Butler as he was tangled up with Rondo before the catch. They'll give Rajon Rondo the foul call. Mark Davis, the lead official, making the call at 8:31 to go here in the second quarter.
PJ, question for the coach. Rondo is being left alone at the 3-point line. He shot it well. If you're Eric Spoelstra, you're basically saying, let's test this guy a little bit?
I don't think so. I think they were just separate plays. He's got to respect the numbers that Rondo has put up. I'm surprised the quality of the look. The one, I think he surprised him. He was so deep, he surprised him.
Here's Jimmy Butler off the inbound, looking to pass. Instead, turned it over. Danny Green down floor to James. Feeds Caruso with a throwdown with a right hand as the Lakers go in front 41-37.
Well, live ball turnovers are always a problem against the Lakers. It's always 2 points at the other end.
8:05 left in the half. Butler tries again at the free throw line. Will pass out to Hero. Squares for 3 and knocks it home. Miami just like that, back within 1.
We'll see if he settles down right now. He has not looked like the Tyler Hero we've seen so far in the playoffs.
He was 1 for 5 before making that three-pointer, 41-40. Now Hero guarding James out on the right. James spins down the lane, hangs, goes to the left hand to miss. Hill the rebound, feeds Hero, brings it across the far right side. Now poked away by Caruso all the way across the baseline. It'll be Miami ball coming out of the inbounds, but first some substitutions. Duncan Robinson and Jay Crowder coming in. Solomon Hill gave Eric Spoelstra some good minutes there. And Goran Dragic also will get a rest.
Duncan Robinson is working real hard just to get a good look.
Takes the inbound pass, fading in the corner, buries a triple.
Tyler Hero, looks like that one shot going down will get him going.
And it was a layup, PJ. It was off a dribble drive, reverse layup, but now he gets back-to-back jumpers. He has completely settled down. Excellent execution off the baseline out of bounds, Kesty.
43-41 on that Hero 3 with 7:30 left in the first half. Timeout. You're listening to the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Our performance of the week brought to you by Pennzoil. Pennzoil synthetic motor oils are made from natural gas. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. We go back a couple of nights ago to Bam Adebayo, 32 points in the Heat's clinching win over the Celtics in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. 32 points, 14 boards, and 5 assists. But tonight here in Game 1 of the Finals, Bam is running the foul trouble. Good news, Tyler Hero has it. Miami by 2 in the second quarter. Back to Orlando with PJ Carlissimo and Doris Burke. Here's Mark Kestisher.
All right, Kev, and good news for Tyler Hero. Doris, after the slow start, back-to-back three-pointers to give Miami this lead.
It was his turnover that really triggered the run by the Lakers, and there were a lot of miscues in the midst of that. But once he got that layup to fall, see the ball go through the net, you relax a little bit, and he's made a couple of jump shots now. He's been so critical to their success.
So many different storylines here, but Tyler Hero, the first player born in the 2000s. He was born in January of 2000 to play in an NBA Finals, just 20 years of age.
He's still got that string going, too, of double digits every playoff game.
Right. All 16 of Miami. This is their 16th game. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Lakers down 2. LeBron James out on the baseline right, guarded by Butler. Finds Green popping out up high. Catch and shoot 3 is good for Danny Green. Green, like LeBron, trying to win championships in 3 different jerseys. The Lakers take the lead 44-43. Bam, and before he handed off to Jimmy Butler, a Lakers foul by Kyle Kuzma trying to stop that action down on the far corner. That'll be foul number 1 on Kuzma, and the second team foul against the Lakers here in the second.
Bench points been a big story. Both teams getting good production in the regular season. Miami was number 6 in bench points. The Lakers number 11, but they're both off to a real good start. 15 for the Lakers, 10 for the Heat.
Miami gets it in. Here's Tyler Hero feeding into the corner. Crowder.
Wow,
right back to Hero. Wow. Good call by the baseline official that time. That was
Josh Tiven. Good,
Yep.
Very good call. Not a good pass by Jay Crowder. I don't know why Tyler Hero was running out of bounds anyhow, but he was just crossing back inbounds when he threw him the ball.
5th turnover against Miami. On the other end is Danny Green trying to get by Duncan Robinson. Drives baseline, kicks out on top. AD for 3. Rainbows one home. Just back out on the floor. Davis gives the Lakers a 4-point edge. 47-43. 6.5 left first half. Tyler Hero hitting Bam Adebayo at the top. Adebayo gets it to Hero. Now dives down the lane, leans, shot no good. Tip to the free throw line. Danny Green's got it. Out to James on the far right side. James inside the arc. Finds Caruso left angle. Alex the drive. Layup good. Lakers in front by 6.
Well, they're outside shooting. They're on fire at 60%. That's opened things up inside. Eric Spoelstra cannot be happy with their interior defense right now.
It should be noted that after Dwight played the first 6 minutes, there has not been a JaVale McGee or Dwight sighting on the floor. You may get a lot of AD at the 5 because of the way Miami plays, Kesty.
Well, AD with a big basket to give the Lakers the lead. LeBron James, after Miami calling that timeout, clapping his hands, happy with the momentum. 49-43. Lakers lead the Heat. 6:09 to go, second quarter, game 1. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
In our studio, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Our drive to the championship brought to you by Toyota. Don't go out. Go all out of the all-new Toyota Highlander, featuring an all-new premium interior and available JBL audio system. Toyota, let's go places. Miami took care of Boston in 6 on Sunday. Lakers took care of the Nuggets in 5 on Saturday. Game 2 of the finals. Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, also on ESPN Radio and ABC Television. And Kesty, Doris, and PJ, if you're getting 24 combined from KCP, Rajon Rondo, and Alex Caruso, I think you may got a drive to the championship on your hands. Back to you.
Well, Kev, the bench is delivering 9 3-pointers, Doris, and 7 LeBron James assists.
Well, LeBron James is high in a finals half for assists is 10. He's on his way, but the 17 bench points, including Alex Caruso and Rajon Rondo, as KW just noted, significant to where they stand, +6.
Miami out of the timeout. Adebayo gets it to Dragic, wraps it around underneath to Adebayo, picks it up, puts it up, a miss, and it's secured by the Lakers. Good defense against that two-man game of Dragic and Adebayo. Miami had that 13-point run in the first quarter for a 13-point lead. The Lakers right now up 49-43, 5:45 left in the half. Rondo against Hero on the left angle. Up top they go to Danny Green. Green guarded by Adebayo. Takes him off the dribble, hangs in the lane, and gets it to fall through. And one.
I think they're going to get Morris for a foul away from the play. The basket's going to count, Kesty. It's a foul below, right around the rebound area.
10 consecutive points for the Los Angeles Lakers, 51-43 in favor of L.A.
Well, Frank Vogel made a good move. Doris referenced that a little while ago. He did not like what Bam Adebayo was doing to Dwight Howard early, and he said, you know what, we're better off small against this team. Let's try that, and it's worked out very well so far.
5.5 to go first half. Bam Adebayo has it at the free throw line. Left-hand dribble, handoff to Dragic. Dragic stops mid-post. His pass intended for Adebayo is batted away by AD. They have completely turned off Miami inside here of late. Here's Rondo penetrating the three-point line and backing off with 5:10 to go in the half. 8-point Laker lead. Rondo gets it to AD out on the right. Guarded by Iguodala. Back to the basket. Double comes. Passes up. Markieff Morris for three is good. Another triple. The 10th of the first half for the Lakers.
If a double comes, everybody around has got to be shot ready.
Second 13-0 run for the Lakers in the first half. 54-43 lead. Dragic, right wing three. It's on its way. It's a miss. And on the weak side, the Lakers have it. Rondo setting up in the front court. Looking to get rid of it. Loops it toward the rim. Totally missed AD, who got knocked down. And it'll go out of bounds to Miami.
Kesty, how about 10 for 16 for the Lakers? Impressive enough. 8 different players have made threes for them. 8 players, 10 3-point shots for the Lakers.
And PJ, it's the one thing that we all thought could prohibit them from winning a title. Did they have enough shooting? And yet game 1, they are lighting it up.
They were 21st in the NBA in three-point shooting regular year. They're 35% here in the postseason. And a foul on Danny Green as Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler trying to work some action up high. The Lakers are 10 for 16 here in the first half from three-point land. Foul on Danny Green is his first. Team number 4 on the Lakers. Side in for the Heat. 4:21 to go first half. Hero gets it into Adebayo left of the circle. Bam will give it up to Butler. Butler on the drive. Now the fade from 10. No good. Tipped in the air by Bam, and it goes out of bounds across the baseline to the Lakers.
Bam is trying to assert himself. Eric Spoelstra may have to do something by way of calls to get Bam back in the game. He was off to such a good start, and he's basically been invisible since then.
Has not scored in the second quarter. He's got 6 points. Lakers the lead by 11 and possession. Green goes right side to Rondo. 4 minutes to go in the half. Against the zone of Miami. Rondo from the right wing. Finds Anthony Davis. Wheels. 20-footer no. Long rebound. Iguodala has it. Starting transition. Iguodala feeds to Butler. Got deep. Butler lays it in to end the Laker run. 54-45. Miami back within 9. Miami played 175 possessions of zone this year, and they shoot over the top of it. Danny Green burying the 11th three-pointer for the Lakers. 12-point edge, L.A. Butler hangs, foul, and one. Circled the rim twice and went down. Jimmy Butler a chance for three.
Danny Green wants a review, and actually Frank Vogel is talking to his video coordinator to see if he wants that. I'd be surprised he uses it this early. He's claiming that he got moved out by Jimmy Butler going to the basket.
Danny's trying to sell Frank, and I think Frank's like, it's too early in the game, and I got a 10-point lead.
Yeah, there's no, I mean, listen, I get it. There's points on the board, and maybe 3 points on the board, but Kesty, it's an NBA Finals game, and a 10-point edge. You don't use it here under any circumstance, unless it's like LeBron or AD's.
Well, I was just going to say, not only that, Los Angeles, Frank's got it. He's going to take the timeout.
Wow.
They are going to review it here.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I am too.
And Jimmy Butler wanted that ball.
Watching the replay, you'll see why. Jimmy Butler moved him out. I thought Danny sold it a little bit, but it looks like, if you watch the replay, Jimmy Butler puts his right arm on him. A little bit of a sell job. So it'll be interesting to see which way they go with it.
3:28 on the clock. First half, game one of the NBA Finals. Lakers with a 57-47 lead over the Miami Heat, as the Lakers have a coach's challenge going on right now. On that foul against Green would be his second.
We saw Courtney Kirkland this afternoon. Courtney Kirkland and Kevin Scott in the replay center. They'll make the decision. I'll tell you what, it's kind of a tough call. Jimmy Butler's moving into him a little bit with his right arm, but Danny Green just fell backwards like he'd been knocked over.
They're challenging the foul called on Danny Green, okay?
That is Mark Davis, our lead official here, making that announcement.
So first of all, I thought Danny Green fouled him first before a gather or any attention. That never was called. So this is going to be fascinating to me. I am really surprised with the 10-point edge that they're taking.
I am too.
I think they saw the second part. They saw the bang after he hit him. The two of them were coming down court. They kind of banged, separated, and then banged again. When you see the second one, see, there's a foul right there at half court that's not called. Well, I tell you what, that's a tough one to challenge. That could go either way.
A reminder, a trio of NBA podcasts, Zach Lowe, Brian Windhorst, Adrian Wojnarowski. Join the conversation wherever you get your podcasts. Mark Kestisher, Doris Burke, PJ Carlosimo. Game one of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio with 3:28 left, second quarter. Lakers 57, the Heat 47. LA just had its biggest lead at 12 before the Butler make. And now the Frank Vogel using his one challenge here in game one of the Finals.
We should have this momentarily. In the meantime, what I'm curious about, since we've not seen Dwight or JaVale at all, the Houston series, those two men were off the floor for about 75% of the series. Could this be a series where those rim protectors just don't fit in the matchup?
Well, I tell you, it's going to create matchup problems. Now, mismatches always go both ways. When the two bigs are on the floor, you wonder who's going to guard them from Miami's standpoint. But turning it the other way, Miami, everybody is mobile on that team. And you put AD on Bam. I don't know who they're going to cover. Put them on Jay Crowder. Those guys are all deadly three-point shooters. So the matchup's a problem. I actually was surprised Frank started with him. I thought he was maybe going to go back, go small the way he did Markieff Morris against Houston. They're taking a long time.
They are.
I think it's a difficult decision.
Well, they have the option here on these fouls. One of them is a reviewable violation occurred prior to the foul that was challenged. That's what you guys were talking about.
They bumped it half court, exactly.
They did. And Danny Green also looks like a little bleeding from the top part of his jaw. Has a towel right now. He was just checked out on the sideline.
Well, there's no question there was contact.
Jimmy Butler with 16 points, if that layup counts. Here's Mark Davis.
Coach's challenge has been deemed successful as it is vertical. Danny Green jumped in a vertical position. No illegal act. The correct decision would have been no call, score the basket, LA's ball on the baseline. All right?
Interesting.
LA retains their timeout. They still have the delay of game.
That's why you saw both of the other officials. Kane Fitzgerald was talking to Eric Spoelstra, and Josh Tiven was talking to Frank Vogel to explain why they came up with this decision. It's not a terrible decision for Miami. At least they get the 2 points. But Danny Green doesn't have the foul.
Correct. He goes from 2 personal fouls to 1.
Which goes back to your point. I don't know if it was worth the challenge at this stage.
I agree. Here come the Lakers from right to left. Their lead is at 10, 57-47. 3:22 left, quarter two. James spinning by Butler, goes deep and gets the easy deuce.
Rondo actually sets the screen for him at the elbow to free LeBron's drive. Incredible.
James with 7 points, 7 assists. Lakers back up 12. 3:05 left in the second. Bam Adebayo to the free throw line. Jumper no. Continues to struggle here in the second. LeBron will bring it right up the floor. Stops at the top of the circle. Looking left. Passes that way off the hands of KCP. And out of bounds turnover.
LeBron's telling him catch it with 2 hands. He reached back with his right hand. Pass was a little outside his shoulder, but he didn't reach with 2 hands. He reached with 1, and LeBron reminded him. I'm telling you, Kesty, I know it's only first half. Miami would do well to get back in this game in this final 2:45.
Here's Adebayo with a leaner, and a foul called against the Lakers on a block. As that ball was tumbling off, LeBron James can't believe the call as he gets ticketed with that block foul, sending Bam to the line.
If he had just stood his ground, LeBron, right at the end of the play, Kesty, he like pulls away. And to me, in pulling away and his arms extend away, that's why he gets the foul call.
He turned his chest, and guess what? They don't have a challenge.
Lakers will ride the rest of the way here in game 1 without a challenge as Adebayo goes to the line and misses his first free throw. He's been off.
It looks like a total different player than it was for the first 9 minutes of the game. I mean, they were running pick and rolls for him. He was diving to the basket. He drove by Dwight Howard putting the ball on the floor, and he's played very tentatively since he's come back. I can understand on the defensive end not wanting to commit a foul, but not on the offensive end.
Bam Adebayo, 6 points in the first quarter, then a couple of fouls. He hits the second free throw. It's his first point of quarter 2. He's got 7, and the Miami Heat back within 11. 59-48 LA. 2:35 left in the half. James just ahead of half court. Dribbles toward the three-point line. He's picked up by Tyler Hero. James looking to make a run on Hero. Gets to the free throw line down the lane. Had his shot blocked out of bounds off the Lakers.
Andre Iguodala, great help play underneath. Not only did he block it, he blocked it down into LeBron's leg and off LeBron out of bounds.
Those are the plays you never used to see with young legs of LeBron.
LeBron's probably sick of seeing Andre Iguodala in finals over the last few years. 2:15 left here in the second. Miami trying to get into single digits. Butler ball overhead to Crowder. Now to the left side, Hero. Drives to the right at the top against Kuzma. Little step back and lead for Adebayo. 1 to shoot. Bam contested shot off the glass, off the rim. No good. KCP has it. Lakers under 2 minutes to go in the half. James slipped down as he ran into Butler. Gave it up and gets it back. Shot clock at 15. Butler takes it away from James. Jimmy on a 3-on-2 gives to Crowder. Passes out to Iguodala. Lost it momentarily. Picks it off the deck. Got stripped, and Danny Green has it. He tried to find LeBron. The ball is still loose. And now a couple of Heat and Lakers. A jump ball is called, and LeBron James is down on all fours right now. Perhaps his right shoulder injured as he fell to the court.
It looked like someone fell on his shoulder, but invariably when LeBron looks like he's hurt, kind of shakes it off, and like a couple seconds later, he's fine. Yeah, Jay Crowder reached down for the ball and got a pretty good chunk of his arm.
And LeBron landed, his midsection landed right on top of Jay Crowder. It almost looked like he could have gotten his wind knocked out of him.
And by the way, that was a advantage situation that Miami should have scored on and did not. Inability to finish in a 3-on-1 situation.
Still down 11. We'll have a jump ball to the free throw line at our right. Butler and KCP. Barely touched by KCP. Gets in the huddle. Can't get it. Butler's got it. Butler sends it on the wing. Oh, trying to find Hero. Never made it to him. KCP took it away, and he appears a bit slow as he comes up the other end of the floor. 59-48 Lakers. James on the wing to Kuzma. Kuzma's going to straight line drive. Finds the cutting. AD for the slam.
Yeah, that's a bad turnover right there between Crowder and Hero. Didn't grab the ball. I'll tell you what, people are going by Tyler Hero a little more easily than should happen.
61-48 LA. Iguodala tries a three from on top, misses it. James the rebound. Lakers with a 13-point lead and the ball under a minute to go in the half. LeBron dribbling toward the right. Tyler Hero picking him up, and now he sends, LeBron does, everybody down to the baseline. He wants Hero. Going to take him to the foul line, down the lane, jump stop, left hand up, falls off the rim, got his own miss. LeBron underneath in traffic, puts it up as he's fouled, and LBJ will get a couple of free throws with 36 seconds to go in the half.
They're just abusing the young guy. They're going right at him. That's 3 plays in a row. Now, I understand LeBron James. I don't expect any 20-year-old. I don't expect anybody to stay in front of LeBron. But Kyle Kuzma went by him like he wasn't even there also. So that's 3 straight possessions coupled with that turnover between Crowder and Tyler Hero on the opposite end.
And LeBron starting to exert his will down in the paint. Jay Crowder tries to strip it away late. Has a thing or two to say to LeBron James. LeBron's like, come on, my man. I've been here 10 times.
LeBron James, after championship number 4 at the line, hits the first of 2. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists in the first half for James. Kyle Kuzma heads to the Lakers bench. Alex Caruso checks in with just under 37 seconds to go in the half. The Miami Heat with 7 3-pointers, but a struggle here in the second quarter, especially their star Bam Adebayo.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was 25-12 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. That's plus 13 for Miami. Since then, it's 50-23. The Lakers, they have been all over them, and this is the end, the defensive end, where it's really been a problem. Miami can't do anything with LA's defense.
Jimmy Butler is going to drive, and as he was trying to stop, lost it. He's down on the floor, grabbing his left shin. 5-on-4 Lakers, down to AD for the slam. 18 for Davis. Butler is limping on the other end for Miami as the Lakers have taken a 17-point lead. Miami calls for time, and now we'll keep our eyes on Jimmy Butler.
That's a tough timeout. I don't want to say you don't take a timeout when your best player is hurt, but there was 12 seconds to go. I think Tyler Hero would have been better served to just dribble it and take the last shot right there. That's burning a timeout with 12 seconds to go, and Jimmy had already stood up.
Couple of concerns here, PJ. It was a hard plant on his left ankle, and it turned over so hard. It almost looked like he had hurt both his knee and his ankle. So tough play for them right there, Kesty.
Yeah, we just got to look at the replay as Doris described. A severe turn there of the ankle. He was able to get up and was hobbled.
Walked into the huddle and actually sat down on the bench right there. I can't believe he's going to come back out.
And why is AD, as we watch a little replay, AD is heading back to the Laker locker room, and his gait looks a little bit funny.
So Butler on one end, AD headed to the Lakers locker room on the other end after that dunk to put the Lakers up 65-48. As PJ was discussing, this is a 30-point turnaround here in game 1. The Heat had the early 13-point lead. Now Miami is up 17. Good news is they break the huddles. Jimmy Butler, still a little bit of a hitch there, but he is coming back out onto the floor. 53-23, that 30-point swing here in this first half.
Unbelievable. I mean, Miami could not have gotten off to a better start and then completely turned around.
Side inbound for Miami. 10 seconds to go in the half. Tyler Hero with it between the rings with 6. Hero dribbles to the elbow. Shot, no good. James has it with 1. Feeds Kuzma too late as the horn ends. It was a great play afterwards as LeBron went up and under on a dunk well after the clock expired, but it kind of accentuates a 30-point swing for the Lakers here heading into halftime.
LeBron's shoulder looks all right as he runs the length of the floor and catches it with 2 hands and does a reverse dunk, but very, very much concerned if I'm Eric Spoelstra, because his team looked very confused attacking the Los Angeles defense. Frank Vogel made an excellent move going small. Since they've been small, nothing good is happening on the offensive end for the Miami Heat.
11 for 17 from the three-point line, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. So the Lakers' two weaknesses during the regular season are starting to become strengths, shooting the ball exceptionally well.
Yeah, tied a franchise record for a playoff half. Those 11 threes. We're at the break in game one. Lakers 65, the Heat 48 as we send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
Kesty PJ Doris free battery testing is available at AutoZone. So too is free battery charging, proven tough battery selection. That's what makes AutoZone your battery solution, where help is always in stock. Get in the zone. AutoZone. What a second quarter. What a turnaround for the Los Angeles Lakers. Up next on the AutoZone halftime report, ESPN NBA senior writer and insider Brian Windhorst joins me to break down the Lakers' 34-20 advantage in the second quarter and a 17-point halftime lead. This is Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio. The host of the Hoop Collective podcast, teaming up with Zach Lowe after every finals game for a podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcast. Brian, how has Anthony Davis really impacted this finals game one?
Well, it is clear that the Lakers are running their show through Anthony Davis. They smell matchup advantages almost every time down. The Heat have used 4 or 5 different defenders against them. They've tried to keep their best defender, Bam Adebayo, off of him to keep him out of foul trouble. He got into foul trouble anyway. Anthony Davis is controlling this game right now. I do think he injured his left hand at the end of the half, but I think it's probably a minor injury.
Yeah, we take a look at Anthony Davis and Jimmy Butler coming up next, Brian, on the AutoZone halftime report. I want to get some second half adjustments for you because Jimmy Butler's been good. The rest of the Miami Heat haven't. That's next. Lakers by 17. This is Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio.
We saved serious cash with our Progressive Home and Auto bundle and used the money to buy a new boat.
Who's ready to water ski?
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money.
with Zach Lowe after the game. The Lakers here on the AutoZone halftime report have a 17-point lead, Brian. Jimmy Butler from Miami, 7 of 10 for 16 points. But the rest of the Heat are 12 for 35 for 32 points. Where are you going for second-half adjustments?
Yeah, they may have to go elf everywhere because Jimmy Butler turned his ankle pretty bad. I don't know what he's going to be able to give him in the second half. But Eric Spoelstra may have to cut back Tyler Hero's minutes. He looked like a rookie. He played 18 straight minutes in the first half, minus 30 on the scoreboard. And I don't think that they're going to want to adjust down to play a bigger lineup against Anthony Davis to bring Kelly Olynyk off the bench. So they're either going to have to double team Anthony Davis, or they're going to have to go back to that zone more so that they can hide Tyler Hero defensively and have more of a fighting chance. Bam Adebayo played tight after getting his second foul because I think he was thinking in his head what happened with Nikola Jokic, the way the Lakers got him in foul trouble. They may have to go zone to save their chances in this game.
30 seconds or less, it's not going to matter if the Lakers shoot 11 of 17 from beyond the arc, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the Lakers, they were shaky to start off with, but the way that they got production off their bench dominated this game, specifically Rajon Rondo coming in. He was terrific. He's a plus 20. He's on the other end. Alex Caruso, also a plus 20. That is not survivable if you're the Miami Heat.
Brian, we'll talk to you at halftime of Game 2. Enjoy the second half. That'll do it for us on the AutoZone halftime report. Lakers 65, Miami 48. Second half from Orlando is next. This is Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio.
From Fantasy Implications.
9 of 11 from threes. Doris, what adjustments do Miami need to make here in the second half?
Well, Bam Adebayo went out with 2,000, came back a completely much less effective player. He's got to find his footing. They've got to find a matchup for Anthony Davis. He was 4 for 6 against Jay Crowder, got out in transition. You've got to do something. He's got 4 boards and 3 assists in addition to the 18 points. And then finally, I think you've got to guard the three-point line better. You gave up 11 threes to the Lakers.
PJ, it'd be hard to find out what the Lakers could do better because they've been outstanding since the 5:36 mark of the first.
Well, one thing they're going to do for sure is stay small. I'm curious, and it looks like, as I'm saying that, it looks like Dwight Howard's walking over with the starting group, which frankly is a surprise because when Dwight left the floor, they were down 13, and in his absence, as you've documented, they were a plus 30. But I think they need to stay small. I'm actually surprised he didn't go back with that small lineup as he did against Houston in games 4 and 5. Frank Vogel, don't fall in love with the three. That's an aberration. The Lakers going 11 for 17 from 3. If they continue to go, fine. If not, no problem getting the ball inside to AD or letting LeBron go ISO because they have been on fire from 3. And they do not want to let them back in the game.
Tyler Hero starting the second half in place of Duncan Robinson, who did not have Robinson's on the floor as well.
Goran Dragic is not.
Dragic is not starting.
Goran Dragic, 3 of 8, 6-point first half. Dwight Howard is starting is still in the lineup here to start this second half. Anthony Davis, if you're with us at the end of the first half, is fine. And Jimmy Butler maybe got that ankle retaped. He's on the floor and at the top for Miami. Going from right to left, Butler fouled, gets one off the glass and in. And he'll go to the free throw line.
And walks gingerly to the free throw line. Again, I'll tell you one thing, Kesty, that we've talked about repeatedly down here is every other day for the first 4 games. There's no travel involved, obviously, so you got to play every other day. An injury could be catastrophic to one of your key players in the bubble.
That was on Howard. Free three-point play made, Doris.
5 times in this playoff run, the Miami Heat have overcome a double-digit deficit. They will not overreact to this, Kesty.
They're down 14 after the three-point play to open up the third quarter. Lakers' first attack of the second half. Anthony Davis on the left against Jay Crowder. Sizing him up, passes out to James. About a foot beyond the three-point line. Buries a triple. 12 for James here in game 1.
They did not double AD. He kicked it back out to LeBron anyhow. LeBron knocks down the 3.
They leave Hero open on the left, and he missed on a three-point attempt. Rebound Lakers, who are 12 of 18 from three-point land to open this 2020 finals. KCP harassed on the wing, gives it, gets it back, drives, finds a cutting Dwight Howard. A whistle before the shot. Ball hung on the rim and fell off anyway. Foul's going to be against Tyler Hero, side in, coming for the Lakers.
I'm wondering if there's something wrong with Goran Dragic. I would have understood Duncan Robinson not being in the lineup because he looked like a young guy playing in his first finals. But Goran Dragic was okay. I think they need him to do more, but I don't see him on the bench now. My old eyes, Doris. You see Goran on the bench?
Now I'm asking our producer, John Medani, if he can see him because he's got a better angle. But I was wondering and asking the same exact question.
As LeBron James drives deep and gets fouled by Duncan Robinson down near the baseline. Number 2 on Robinson. 2 free throws coming for LeBron James. The way the benches are set up, I'm sure many of the folks who have listened to us throughout the bubble experience is a little different. It's about 3 rows deep. It's easy to get lost looking up from our vantage point 75 feet away.
Everyone's wearing either a Black Vote t-shirt or the staff's wearing black polos. So, I mean, they all look the same.
I've just communicated with the PR person for the Heat, so I'm hoping an answer is coming shortly.
LeBron James at the line. Splits the pair and makes the second. 69-51 Lakers. Minute 10 into this third quarter. Bam Adebayo across, dribbling at the top of the arc. Now we'll hand it off on the left to Crowder. Crowder steps back, has some room, shoots the 3, missed it. Rebounded by Howard. Miami Heat have gone a little cold here from three-point land since an early foray that had them up 13 points. James has Hero, going to back him down right side mid-post. Passes to the opposite side, AD. Davis falling down as he spins loose, ends up in the hands of Danny Green for 3, and he knocks it home. 13 of 19 three-point shooting here in game one.
Boy, that was fortunate. Instead of being a 2-on-1 the other way, Danny Green got the loose ball and proceeded to knock down the three. Two Heat players were sprinting the other way. They thought they had a breakaway.
It's a 21-point Laker lead 2 minutes into the second half. Jimmy Butler dribbles down to the baseline. Dwight Howard's in his way, takes him to the top, stops, passes to the left. Late shot clock. Three is good by Jay Crowder. They needed that one to stop the bleeding at 72-54. The Lakers still in front by 18. James stops the dribble up high, gives it to Danny Green, right back to LeBron with Duncan Robinson defending. LeBron James making his way toward Robinson, trying to blow by him in the lane. Passes to AD, corner three, missed it, rebound, offensive board. Howard hits the cutting AD, who's fouled by Crowder, going up, and Anthony Davis will shoot two.
Their size, their rebounding, those second chance opportunities for the Lakers. This is who they are and what they do, Kesty. And all triggered by LeBron James. The initial drive to the paint, collapses everybody, and then the pitch to the corner. And now Miami's in rotation and opens up the offensive board. Just a typical play. And guys, I am getting an update from the Miami Heat. Goran Dragic, left foot, is doubtful to return to tonight's NBA Finals game.
Yeah, there's no way Goran Dragic would not be in were he not injured.
Dragic, who has been one of the parts of this Miami resurgence here in the bubble. Kendrick Nunn, who was runner-up for Rookie of the Year, had some COVID issues, and since Dragic went into the starting lineup, it has ignited Miami. But Dragic not here to start the second half. AD with 2 free throws to put the Lakers up 20. 74-54 LA. 9:15 to go in the third as Hero floats up a 14-footer in and out. Rebounded by James, and James quickly into the forecourt. James passes, corner Green for three. No good. Another offensive rebound. AD is put back. Is no good, but AD gets it back, puts it in. Eric Spoelstra calls for time. The Lakers' size too much for Miami here to start the second half.
Yeah, Bam's going up against both of the bigs right now, but he's got to do a better job inside right there. You know, when he's caught, when he's defending AD, he's away from the basket, so he can't get in there and rebound. When you put him on Dwight, you're kind of wasting a really good defensive player. So Eric Spoelstra is in a very tough situation right now. Goran Dragic, our listeners may not realize just how well he has played for this team, and he's also a knowledgeable veteran. He's not scared of the moment.
Timeout, 9:01 to go, third quarter. Lakers 76 and the Heat 54. You're listening to the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Dragic near Rondo. We'll describe that in the first half. It's a left foot injury, doubtful to return for Dragic. Big story building as Adebayo has it out on the baseline left against Dwight Howard, trying to swat the ball away. Now they find Robinson in the corner. Back to Bam, who's fouled as LeBron James was coming over to help out Dwight Howard. So what exactly did we see from Dragic there on that video review we just watched?
It looked like his foot stepped on the opponent's foot, but Kesty, the way he looked down was concerning to me.
He looked back as if, what did I step on?
It looked like he stepped on Rajon Rondo's left foot or left toe.
Miami has it with Jimmy Butler on the right, probing, steps back beyond the stripe, shoots a three, in and out, and it falls out to Dwight Howard. The Heat have missed 6 of their last 7 three-point attempts, and they trail by 22 points here in game 1. James on the baseline drive, lays it in. LeBron with 15 points.
That time it was Duncan Robinson he went at. The young guys just aren't equipped to try and handle the best player on the planet.
Hero sends it out on the left wing to Crowder. His three's no good. An offensive board for Bam, and then he got hit in the face as LeBron James was coming across the top.
That's his 3rd personal foul, I believe, too, here in the last minute or so.
Correct. 3rd team foul on the Lakers. Both teams with 3 fouls. Andre Iguodala will come in for Duncan Robinson on the Miami lineup.
Yeah, they got to get another defender in. This team is just getting shredded on the defensive end, and that's very unusual for an Eric Spoelstra team. But, you know, with no Dragic and both of the young guys in, they had tough matchups virtually everywhere.
Tyler Hero drives into a double team, tried to get a shot off, got it blocked. Lakers coming the other way. 7:50 to go here in the 3rd. James gives to Howard. Great feed down low to AD for the slam. And another timeout called by Eric Spoelstra as the Lakers going downhill here with 7:49 to go in the 3rd.
They're going downhill, but you know what maybe the best aspect of this half has been for me to watch them? The unselfishness with which they're playing. So Dwight could have just come down the lane and thrown that dunk down, Kesty. But twice now he's a little dump pass to his partner AD. The size, the length, they're just overwhelming a Miami team right now.
Timeout on the floor. The Lakers 80, the Miami Heat 54 with 7:49 to go in the 3rd quarter of game 1. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
Thank all of you who logged on to our Twitter account and voted in the AutoZone to get in the zone poll question. 39% of you said LeBron James would get in the zone. pretty close. Doing well. Anthony Davis is doing better. 24 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. Kesty, Doris, and PJ, you guys familiar with the 1980s movie Unnecessary Roughness? It's a football movie. There's a scene where someone says, how many timeouts do we have? Can we use them all now? I feel like that's the Miami Heat here in the third quarter. Back to you.
Very good, Kev. Yeah, the Lakers with a 39-point turnaround since being down 13 points in the first quarter. And AD and LeBron, 12 of the 15. It's a 15-6 start to this third quarter for the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, they've combined for 39 already, and you don't have to outscore them, but you got to stay in touch. Jimmy Butler's doing his job. He's got 19. Bam's got 7, and he had, I think, 6 of those in the first couple minutes. So the young guy, the young big, has got to be a lot better for Miami.
Crowder gets off a 3 for the Heat. Another 3-point miss for Miami. Kendrick Nunn is in the game for the Heat, Doris. Here's AD out on the left wing against Jay Crowder. He'll send it to LeBron, reloads Davis, dribbles to the high post, into the lane, out to KCP. Sidestep to his left, gets off a 3, no good, and gets fouled. 3 free throws coming for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
It's all unraveling for the Miami Heat. You know, Kendrick Nunn, you insert him because it's been a struggle on the defensive end for Hero. Robinson has only got 2 field goal attempts. Kendrick Nunn a little more athletic. One of those ignitable guys. Remember, first team all-rookie. Missed 25 days, Kesty, because he was COVID-19 positive. That sort of put him behind the 8 ball. And now Eric Spoelstra looking for a little bit of a spark, PJ.
Exactly. And even on the offensive end, he can generate his own offense, sometimes to a fault. But right now, when nothing else is going, you put a guy like him in and hope for a little bit of instant offense. He cannot do any worse on the defensive end.
KCP hitting the first 2 of 3 free throws. 82-54 Lakers. 7:15 to go in the third. All 3 made in the 29-point deficit. The largest for the Heat in a playoff game since April of 18 against the 76ers. Miami's Bam Adebayo in the high post holding. Now against AD. Puts one dribble. Gets fouled. Chucks it at the rim. No good. He's fouled hard. AD still down. And in a bit of pain now, puts both arms up, being helped up. And he'll head to the free throw line at 7:03 to go in the third on the third foul by Dwight Howard. Well, the Miami Heat, who swept out the Indiana Pacers in round 1, stunned the Milwaukee Bucks, the top seed in the East and the best record in the NBA in 5 games in round 2. Took them 6 games to shed the Boston Celtics. As Bam hits the first one, at least in the first 5.5 minutes, thought they might have the Lakers solved, and now Eric Spoelstra and company trying to resolve that Rubik's Cube.
Bam had 6 points in the first 5 minutes of the game and has been incredibly quiet since then. The foul trouble hurt him, seemed to really bother him when he got back in the second quarter, and his offense just went completely away.
Second free throw, pops in and out, no good. Only 2 points for Bam since those early 6. 83-55. Lakers in command. Over 7 minutes to go in the third. Anthony Davis, a jab step. Now launches from 20, and it's good. 26 for Anthony Davis. The lead grows to 30. 85-55 Los Angeles. Kendrick Nunn can't hang on to the pass up top, and it trickles to Iguodala. Back to Nunn, feeding Bam, stops in the lane, 13-footer, another miss. Rebounded by LBJ. James to Davis, back to LeBron near the free throw line. Step back, 17-footer, around and out. Rebounded by Butler. Miami trying to get a couple of points here, down 30. Can Bam get started again? Misses another shot from 20. Grabs toward his left hand after that miss. Down the other end, AD for the slam. Bam was late getting back, holding on to that left hand, maybe left wrist. Timeout Miami as the Lakers lead grows to 32.
That was the injury in the last series against Boston, which I don't know that they ever really announced what it was. They just said that he was getting treatment and would be all right, but he clearly holding the left hand and is playing so tentatively on the offensive end.
And they're checking out Bam Adebayo.
Jay Sable, their trainer, yep.
Left shoulder area. Yeah, he was hit on, remember, he was hit on the wrist and the forearm and the shoulder, and there was ice on it as well. It was that whole left side, as he looks to be in some pain there as they work on the left shoulder right now.
This goes to the play with Dwight Howard, guys. On that drive where he took the shot and fell down and got the 2 free throws, the first thing he did was grab for that left shoulder, and he was wincing, and he looked like he was in significant pain. Almost felt like a stinger type thing, and they're over there giving him attention on that left shoulder.
Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo, one of the big reasons the Miami Heat have made this NBA Finals. If you're just joining us, Dragic injured his left foot in the first half. Doubtful to return. Bam Adebayo re-aggravating, whether it's the left shoulder or all the way down that left arm, being attended to right now.
And to PJ's point about Goran Dragic leads this team in scoring in the playoffs, in the 15 games of the playoffs. And, you know, PJ has played in the Eurobasket, has won the MVP of the Eurobasket, won a gold medal. So the big game playing, he could have helped that young contingent of guards.
No question. And, again, he's the one you talked about when the lineup changed. Kendrick Nunn got COVID, and they took him out of the lineup, and they've never looked back since then. They've played much, much better.
No Bam. Kelly Olynyk is in. Miami has it, trailing 87-55. Nunn drives the lane, passes to the corner. Iguodala, he tries to get through the lane, fades from 15, and it rattles home with 5:40 left in the third. 30-point Laker lead at 87-57. Here in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, and Doris Burke with you. Anthony Davis with 28 points working. Trying to back down Iguodala into the mid-post. Spins baseline, fades, a miss, rebounded by Nunn. Kendrick Nunn burning his way into the front court. Drops a pass to Olynyk, who flips it up and in for his first 2 of Game 1.
Good push out there for Miami, and they got an easy shot as a result.
87-59 Lakers. About to cross 5 minutes to go in the third. Rajon Rondo in the game. Will send it to AD on top of the arc, and right back to Rondo with 8 to shoot. Nunn gets right up on him. Fights through a screen. Rondo on the three-point line to KCP for 3. Missed that one. Rebound. Nunn snags it away. Kendrick Nunn, runner-up. Rookie of the year. Pass to Butler. A 3 from the left. No good. KCP the rebound. Miami's now 8 of 23 from three-point land here in Game 1.
This group got the Lakers going when LeBron James went to the bench in the first quarter.
KCP from the right wing with 9 to shoot. And a whistle from Mark Davis on the baseline underneath.
It's going to be on Kelly Olynyk, I believe. Dwight Howard was making a ball side cut, and I think just too much contact from Kelly.
Olynyk indeed with his first.
Already in the bonus.
Miami over the limit at 4:25 to go here in the third quarter. Dwight Howard will head to the free throw line for the first time here in Game 1, playing his first finals since 2009. And his first attempt goes down.
Well, think about him, PJ. Last year with Washington was his 4th team in 4 years. After one of the most dominant starts to a career, played incredible basketball for Stan Van Gundy, went to a finals, lost to the Lakers. But it's become much of a journey for Dwight. What a story this would be for him if he gets a first title here.
And you're talking a guy who was first team All-NBA 5 times, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA. One of the most dominant players.
And he hits 2 free throws back to a 30-point game as Kendrick Nunn drives down the left side and lays it in. 89-61. Lakers still with a 28-point advantage. We're about to hit the 4-minute mark to go here in the third quarter of Game 1. Rondo stops the dribble about 35 feet from the basket, goes to AD on the left. AD drives, cut off by Butler. Back to Rondo with 6 to shoot. Rondo on the left wing. Rondo inside the arc. Rondo steps back, shoots a 3 and misses as Iguodala has the rebound for Miami. Andre front court, pass to Olynyk. Fakes the 3, drives. Back to Iguodala. Jump pass tipped and into the hands of Dwight Howard. Off the turnover, Rondo. Jump pass to KCP for 3, overshot the rim. Out of bounds it goes, but did Duncan Robinson touch it last?
I think he did.
Josh Tiven and Kane Fitzgerald will have a conference on the baseline. Mark Davis says, I'll make the decision for you. It's Los Angeles ball.
And it was the right decision.
3:29 to go in the third. Lakers have it front court. Alex Caruso into the Lakers lineup. Kyle Kuzma in as well. Anthony Davis with 28 points will trigger it in. Into Caruso, up top Rondo. Finds Kuzma popping out to the right wing to Caruso. Deep right corner three is a miss. Duncan Robinson rebound.
Their defensive rebounding better anyway, Miami.
Trailing 89-61, 3:15 left in the third. Nunn's pass is tipped. It was intended for Olynyk. It comes to the near left side to us and out of bounds.
Active hands for both of these teams, number 1 and 2 in the playoffs in deflections. The Lakers in the Heat.
Jimmy Butler gets it into Kendrick Nunn with Robinson, Olynyk, and Iguodala on the floor. Here's Nunn for three. Missed it. Front rim, long rebound to Caruso. Alex Caruso with 3 minutes to go in the third. Slows it up on the perimeter and right back to Rondo. Left side, KCP. Olynyk gets up on him. KCP dribbles away. Now goes down to the baseline. A fadeaway jumper. Off the rim twice. No. Miami comes away with it. Duncan Robinson a rebound with 2:43 left in the third. Down floor, Nunn. Pass up top, Robinson. Down 28 of the Heat. They go to Olynyk outside the mid-post left. Backs down Kuzma as he's fouled. Chucks it toward the rim. No good, but he'll get 2 free throws out of it.
Lakers have lost their edge defensively right now. They're playing like they have a 28-point lead.
Fouls on Kyle Kuzma, his second. And a timeout called by Frank Vogel and the Lakers before the free throws are shot. 89-61, Lakers leading Miami. I know it's still a long way to go with 14 and a half minutes to play. Big deficit for Miami.
Yeah, it is. And Frank just wants his guys to keep their foot on the pedal. They're relaxing a little bit right now. They're still playing, don't get me wrong, but they were playing at a very high level, and there was no question the Miami players were feeling that physicality that Frank loves to talk about. You don't see that out there right now the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Human nature when you go up 30 and 30 plus that you're going to take a little bit of a break here. But obviously a great timeout. And Kesty, one of the things I think is interesting, you're going to have obviously an incredibly difficult time winning this series if Goran Dragic is not able to get that left foot healed. We don't know what the status of Bam Adebayo is. He's really, and I know Jay Crowder has taken a lot of the Anthony Davis matchup, but you need Bam on the defensive end of the floor. He's also the axis upon which you run your offense. So much elbow action, staggers, split actions. So obviously 2 huge misses without those 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean, Bam played well for 6 minutes. He had 6 points in basically 5 minutes, and he was active on the defensive end. That's the Bam they need. They need first team all-defensive Bam. They need all-star Bam. He can't be good. He has to be excellent, and Goran Dragic has to be excellent. Both things, that's the way they've played for most of the series, come the prior 3 series. Not tonight, and as Doris mentioned, injuries on top of that.
A Laker getting attended to. Is that KCP? Could not see the number out on the far side as Kelly Olynyk hits the first of 2 free throws.
It does look like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He's laying down on his back. Looks like he's trying to catch his breath, and their medical staff attending to him.
On the far left side, to the left of the Lakers bench, Olynyk hits 2 free throws. 89-63 Lakers here with 2:31 to go in the third. Rondo on the floor with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Kuzma and Caruso. Attacking the basket to the right. James has it on the right wing. LeBron holding ball on his left thigh against Butler. Takes him to the right, wraps it around, and lays it in. Explosive move by LeBron.
And they've gone away from the double teams. And again, if you don't double team LeBron when he's got the whole side, there's not much you're going to be able to do, even a way above average defender like Jimmy Butler.
28-point lead for the Lakers. 2 minutes to go in the third. Olynyk, great pass down low to Nunn. Short jumper misses, though. Loose ball foul on the Lakers with 1:55 to go here in the third on Alex Caruso. That'll be his first.
Late whistle by Josh Tibbin on a weak side checkout.
LeBron James, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. He's already had 4 triple-doubles this postseason, 27 in his career, 3 shy of Magic Johnson, and he's also the finals record holder with 10 triple-doubles coming into this, his 10th NBA Finals.
Well, the only question tonight about whether he's going to get a triple-double or not is how many minutes Frank's going to play him. He may just decide that enough's enough, but if he gets minutes, he's definitely going to get the triple-double.
Butler hit the first and the second. 21 for Jimmy Butler. Miami trailing the Lakers 91-65. Minute 50 left in the third. Anthony Davis working it to Caruso on the perimeter. Back to James on the right.
Same ISO.
Cleared out against Butler. This time takes him to the mid-post. Butler trying to swat the ball away. James baseline. Outside AD for three. Might have been deflected. Iguodala got up in him, and it's rebounded by Miami. Down floor, Olynyk. Behind the back pass. Robinson, corner three. No. Rebounded by James.
Right, clean look from Duncan Robinson. You got to make that shot.
Yeah, see, that's the good thing that can happen now, even in so-called garbage time. If Miami doesn't make a run, Duncan Robinson needs to make a couple shots and feel a little bit better going into the next game, because right now he has really struggled.
James pulls the trigger on a step-back three. A miss from the right. Tapped out. Lakers have it. Caruso out to Rondo. James, by the way, that last rebound was his 10th. To go with his 17 points and 7 assists. LeBron against Olynyk from the right, drives into the lane. Sends it to Kuzma for three. A miss off the rim. Robinson has it. Miami loose ball foul on this end.
Anthony Davis was working the offensive glass. Andre Iguodala trying to contend with him. But the length is problematic, so he uses so much body and leverage, and he commits what is an easy foul call for the official. If you say AD's back contorting, you're going to know it's a foul.
Kesty, just to piggyback on what you said, too, that double-double is number 12 for LeBron James. He leads the playoffs right now with 12 double-doubles, I believe.
Amazing. As Anthony Davis heads to the free throw line and hits the first. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. It's the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Kestisher, Doris Burke, PJ Carlissimo. Game one of the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio. Anthony Davis has a 30-point game one in his first NBA Finals game. A couple of free throws, 93-65. The Lakers controlling the heat here in the final minute of the third quarter. Olynyk catch and shoot deep three, no good. Kuzma the rebound.
2 for 1 there for Kelly Olynyk.
LeBron James will bring it up. Stops inside a half court with about 9 seconds difference on the shot clock in the third quarter clock, which hits 20. James dribbling to the right, passes to the left. Caruso corner three, no good. Rebounded by Kendrick Nunn. Shot clock off with 12 seconds to go in the third. Down 28 points of the Heat. They got the last attack of the third. Nunn blows by Rondo, puts it up, lays it in with 2.9. Rondo might have got hit in the face. He's bent over as Kuzma heaves from half court, no good. But the Lakers have a 93-67 lead after 3 quarters in game one.
Taking care of business. They weren't quite as impressive on the defensive end, but with the depleted Miami roster, they were more than good enough, Kesty.
Anthony Davis with 30 points. LeBron James 3 assists, shy of a triple-double. Since Miami led 28-15, the Lakers have outscored them 78-39. We head to the fourth. Lakers 93, the Heat 67. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Soundbites brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. I asked ESPN NBA analyst Jay Williams earlier today what a title, this particular title, would mean to LeBron James.
This game is just not about basketball. This is a game of life. So I really do think that this will be his greatest accomplishment with what he's been able to do to make people more actively involved and becoming informed about voting. He's also carrying the torch for Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. He's carrying that weight. This will be one of the most incredible things I've ever seen an athlete do.
Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. Lakers by 20. It's only game one, we know. Back to Orlando. Here's Kesty.
Game one kept big for LeBron James. 1-8 in game ones of NBA Finals in his career. James on the floor still with the Lakers up 20, 95-75, 9:54 to go here in the fourth quarter.
They're not going to take LeBron out unless they put a little run together here and put Miami away. And Frank Vogel has seen them come back many a time here in the bubble.
Markieff Morris skips the pass across to Kuzma in the right corner, up top to James. LeBron holding. LeBron dribbling back with 6 to shoot. Gives it up. Morris. Left side. 3 is good. NBA Finals record. 14th three-pointer for the Lakers.
After missing 15 in a row, Markieff Morris finally knocks one down.
98-75 Los Angeles. 9:20 to go here in the opener of the 2020 NBA Finals. Solomon Hill drops it for Olynyk, left of the circle. Goes to the right side and sends it to Hill. 2 to shoot. Missed everything on a deep jumper. LeBron coming down the other end of the floor. James hesitates at the three-point line. Finds Green open in the corner. Missed a 3. Rebounded by Olynyk.
The only thing prohibiting him from getting a triple-double are missed open shots from his teammates.
He could have had the 3 assists on his last 3 passes, and they missed all 3.
Still got 8. Great pass. Iguodala down low to Kendrick Nunn on the cut. Nunn with the layup. 98-77. Miami still trailing the Lakers.
Kendrick Nunn making a strong case for more playing time.
8:36 to go. Here's James. His pass to Caruso. Blocked. No, fouled by Olynyk, who was trying to keep Caruso from getting the easy 2. Also denied James' 9th assist of the night with 8:34 to go in game 1. That's number 2 on Kelly Olynyk. That was Caruso. We had a chance to speak with him yesterday. Boy, he has really turned himself into a really good off-the-bench NBA player in just his 3rd year here out of Texas A&M.
He is a great advertisement, well, personally for hard work, and because he deserves everything he's getting. But he's a great advertisement for the G League or the D League. Spent some time with the Oklahoma City Blue and more time with the South Bay Lakers. And as he said, he learned how to be a pro, and it's paid off.
How about Frank Vogel calls him elite, star-level defensive player because of the number of things he can do. And he grew up in College Station watching Billy Gillispie and Mark Sturgeon. And he said they played gritty, they played tough. I thought that's the way it was supposed to be done.
That's right. Grew up in the shadows of Texas A&M. Played college ball there. Hit 2 free throws here in his first finals game. 99-77 Lakers. Baseline jumper, Nunn. Hits another one. 13 off the bench for Kendrick Nunn with 8:20 to go here in the fourth.
Good for him.
So I think I said Sturgeon. Mark Turgeon. Am I thinking caviar?
I think you're ready for dinner, perhaps.
Am I thinking caviar?
99-79, Lakers lead.
Turge won't mind.
Here's AD in a double. Passes outside to James. Drives, puts it up with the left hand short. Tipped out. Crowder's got it for Miami. Down 20 are the Heat with 8 minutes to go in game 1. Olynyk baseline right, tried to hit the cutting hero, missed it, but Solomon Hill ends up cutting down, grabbing it, and putting it in.
Frank Vogel's turned to his bench, getting Rajon Rondo in, telling him, please get this thing under control for us.
James finds KCP at the free throw line. Back to James, down low to AD, who stripped and fouled underneath the basket. AD will shoot a pair with 7:39 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's one way they'll get it under control. Instead of burping up threes, if they start going inside, particularly to Anthony Davis, that'll take care of business.
Second foul on Solomon Hill, and as Anthony Davis goes to the line with 30 points, we want to say hello to our old pal, Hubie Brown. I know he's listening from the Atlanta, Georgia area. We've had a chance to have Hubie obviously on our air. Finals after finals over the years. Didn't come down into the bubble for obvious reasons. And I know he's missing it here tonight, so we want to say a big hello to Hubie back home.
The man has affected more generations of basketball people on more continents than any living person. And a personal shout out to Hubie for always being willing to answer my basketball questions. We miss the legend.
I'm just going to say, Hubie's missing it, but we're missing him a lot more.
Just turned 87 recently. As AD hits the first free throw, second one, good. 32 for Anthony Davis in his finals debut. Coming off a Western Conference Finals debut in which he averaged 31 points a game. Here's none for three, a heat check miss. LeBron James ends up with the rebound with 7:25 to go. 101-81 Lakers. Rondo bounce pass to James, who throws it down. 103-81, James with 19 points tonight. Jimmy Butler up high for Miami. They go to Olynyk, ball fakes on the three, takes a step in with a dribble, now out to Hill. Hill from the left to Olynyk, he'll trigger a three, he'll miss it badly to the right, and it caroms hard to AD. 22-point Laker lead with 7 minutes to go.
Well, good to see KCP back in there, those cramps.
Here's Rondo, finds AD, one power dribble, goes up, blocked by Olynyk. Rondo comes up with it, refeeds AD, who missed on the jam but got fouled. And Anthony Davis will get 2 more free throws.
Rajon Rondo has made a difference. All of a sudden, the ball's going inside right now, and there's a lot more purpose to the Los Angeles offense. I would say they're still not playing the level of defense that Frank Vogel would like to see on the opposite end.
Couldn't agree more on Rajon. The ball finds exactly who it should find. The offense just functions better.
Anthony Davis, 2 more free throws coming, 6:40 to go. First one is in. 33 for Anthony Davis, his 7th 30-point playoff game this year. He had 3 of them in the Western Conference Finals. Of course, had a huge game-winning 3 in Game 2 of the Conference Finals against Denver. Came over in the trade from New Orleans and looking for a championship.
Goran Dragic on his way to a hospital for x-rays on his foot and his ankle. And
the sobering news is Jimmy Butler still hobbling on his twisted ankle, gets fouled down low.
And Kesty, one thing, and PJ, I don't know if you've seen it, they've run that replay back, and he barely touched the foot of Rajon Rondo. And to Kesty's point about the way he looked down, it just didn't look good.
Like you said, it looked like he was looking for something. What did I step on? What changed? It was, we don't want to speculate on injury, but suffice it to say that he's headed to the hospital to have that reviewed here in Game 1 of the NBA Finals as Jimmy Butler hits the first of 2. So Dragic left in the first half injured. Bam Adebayo in the third quarter with an apparent re-aggravation of an injury from the series against Boston.
Yeah, he may actually be doing that here, Kesty. We're not sure, but I'm sure they have all the NBA arenas. You have to have X-ray available, so I'm sure they set that up down here. Maybe before we go off air, we'll get a report on that.
Butler hit 2 free throws, 105-83. Lakers lead with 6:15 to go. Rondo at the top, drives, had it blocked out across the baseline by Miami with 7 to shoot, and 6:13 to go. Tyler Hero's going to come in. Jimmy Butler's going to head out. Derrick Jones Jr. coming in for Jay Crowder.
Well, I think get the veterans out, which is a good move by Eric Spoelstra, but I think more importantly for Tyler Hero and Derrick Jones, it gives them some minutes to settle down, see the bet. Doesn't matter what the score is. Just see the ball go in the basket and play the way we're used to seeing them play.
Off the inbound, LeBron James with a basket. On the other end of the floor, Tyler Hero knocks down a short jumper. 107-85 Lakers.
Duncan Robinson's the one that needs to see the ball go in.
5:45 to go here in Game 1. Lakers on their way to a 1-0 series lead as Markieff Morris from the right misses a 3. Olynyk with the rebound. Kendrick Nunn, who's delivered 13 points off the bench against Rondo. Darting and passing down low to Jones. Over to Hero on the wing. Sidestep three. No. Another miss. Rebound tapped in the air by Derrick Jones, but corralled with one hand by AD as he fell down, kept the dribble, and LeBron James came up with a loose ball. Down floor KCP. In a 22-point Laker lead. James still 2 assists away from the triple-double. Dribbles out to the right wing. 6 to shoot. Slings it up top. Morris, a three. No, but he's fouled by Kelly Olynyk. Trying to close out another three-point shooter fouled. Or they call that an offensive foul on Markieff Morris. Wow. Goes the other way. Morris with his third. Miami trailing 107-85. We're about to cross 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Tyler Hero hits Kelly Olynyk right of the circle, drops it to Nunn, who drives hard and flushes.
Kelly Olynyk operating that elbow passing role that Bam Adebayo functions in so well and so often.
107-87, Lakers up 20. Rondo around a screen from James, drives and kicks right side KCP, up top Anthony Davis, a hard drive, a swat, another block by Olynyk. Down floor, Tyler Hero went for the dunk, and KCP got a hand on it. Miami still has it, though, in the front court. Olynyk stumbling, passing to Nunn for three, and Kendrick Nunn hits another three-pointer. He's got 18 points off the bench. Timeout, Los Angeles.
Well, coaches like to say there's never wasted minutes in a game. As PJ said, you're trying to establish some kind of rhythm, something you can grasp onto going into game two if you're the Miami Heat.
Frank is frustrated. He's talking. You can see him talking to Phil Handy and Jason Kidd, 2 of his assistants right now. And the debate goes something like this. 17's not enough with 4:18 to go against Miami. And they're discussing who they should put on the floor to finish this off. Doesn't want to start yanking guys right now, but they don't like the fact that they've had to stretch out the minutes of some of their key players right now to put this one away.
4:18 to go. We step away with the Lakers leading the Heat 107-90. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. knocked out of his hands or he lost it on the drive. Lakers come up with it.
Jared Dudley made a nice play.
I thought when LeBron signed with the Lakers that maybe his days of getting rings could end. We didn't know what the Golden State dynasty was going to do at that moment as Markieff Morris misses from the left. Now a chance for 4, and everything's kind of changed in the Western Conference.
He didn't make the playoffs last year for the first time since his second year in the league, Kesty. But both of these teams were 10th in their respective conferences last year. Neither Miami nor the Lakers were in the playoffs last year. LeBron went there, and a lot of people were shaking their head like, oh, you know, why would you do this? Well, here's why. For the first time in 10 years, the Lakers are back in the finals, and LeBron is knocking on the door again.
Here's Miami, a nice wraparound Olynyk to Derrick Jones Jr. The high flyer dunks it home with 36 seconds to go. 113-98 Lakers in command of game 1. Of course, usually it's the counter coaching and adjustments that are made as Quinn Cook buries a 3 from the left. That is the 15th three-pointer for the Lakers in game 1. But the bigger story in the next 48 hours is going to be the injury news, specifically for Miami. As Solomon Hill misses a 3 with 12 seconds to go. Goran Dragic the foot. Bam Adebayo with a shoulder strain. The final 5 seconds are going to tick off the clock. Anthony Davis with 34 points. LeBron James 25 points, just missed a triple-double. The Lakers take game 1 of the NBA Finals 116-98 over the Miami Heat.
How long ago, 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Miami with a 13-point lead and a healthy Bam Adebayo and a healthy Goran Dragic. My, how things have changed.
That one spurt, 75-30, all the length and the size and the defensive intensity. I thought the defensive pressure changed significantly midway through that first quarter. And boom, that 75-30 run came, Kesty, and wow.
Yeah, the big change. They took Dwight Howard out of the lineup. They went with a smaller lineup and then surprised us with starting Dwight Howard in the third quarter, and that lineup worked.
Frank Vogel, every button he seems to push this year and specifically in these playoffs seems to be the right decision. He went back big and they just dominated and continued to roll over the Heat for much of the second half.
See if we have some debate tonight. Who is tonight's more driven player of the game?
I'm going to go out on a limb and give it to number 23, LeBron James. The only thing that kept him from getting a triple-double tonight was his teammates missing about their last 7 shots when he passed them the ball. I thought he was magnificent. He started as he often does, and it surprised me because I thought he'd come out gangbusters. He involved his teammates. He had all the assists, and then when it didn't go the way he wanted to go, he got a little more aggressive and put his stamp on this game.
Lakers get 59 points between he and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. But the leadership tonight was absolutely LeBron James, and that tips it in his favor for me. They are near unbeatable, Kesty, when those two go for 60. Now one shy, but think LeBron plays 36 minutes in AD 38.
There you go, LeBron James with the 25, the 13, and the 9. Our more driven player of the game, brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. I had mentioned the fact that usually it's adjustments. Injuries are going to be a big factor. Game 2 of our NBA Finals Friday night. Coverage starting at 8:30 Eastern Time on your home for the NBA Finals, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. If you're a head coach, PJ, look, you have to, whatever the injuries are, could be next man up as you look to readjust here against the Lakers.
Well, I hope for Eric Spoelstra's and selfishly for our sake, it's not next man up because they need at least one, if not both of those guys. You have to question whether that's in the cards for Friday night. And how about the Lakers? Despite missing 15 straight three-pointers in the second half, they shoot 40% from the game from 3, 39.5%, 15 threes on top of all the other things they do so well.
And we wondered whether their free throw percentage would come back to bite them tonight. 25 for 27. AD was 10 for 10. So again, the two weaknesses coming here that you thought, okay, yes, they're talented. Yes, they're long and athletic. And yes, they've got 2 first-teamers. But they did, we thought, have weaknesses. Well, they have not been weaknesses here.
AD, number 3 in the playoffs, getting to the free throw line. He averages 9.8 a game. He got 10 tonight and made them all.
And number 3 on the jersey, and another number 3 for you, PJ. Most points in an NBA Finals debut in Lakers history, and it's a long history. 34 points tonight, tied for 3rd with Elgin Baylor back in 1959. The only 2 players in Lakers history to score more in their Finals debut. George Mikan had 42 back in 1949, and Shaquille O'Neal had 43 back in the 2000 Finals.
Pretty good company.
Not too bad.
AD.
Not too bad. Lakers a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7. Final score, L.A. 116, Miami 98. Now for PJ Carlissimo, Doris Burke, our producer John Medani, engineer Bob White, I'm Mark Kestisher. That'll do it from Disney for now as we send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the postgame show.
Kesty, Doris, PJ, great job tonight in Game 1. We'll talk with you on Friday for coverage of Game number 2 of these NBA Finals. The Los Angeles Lakers now with a 1-0 series lead. This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in